Hey guys, hope you're all well. It's Goldjack here and I just came across a story from the Red Army which is very interesting and I'm sure you guys will agree by the end. So today I'm going to bring you a heroic story of a 6-year-old who ended up being awarded a military medal during World War II. So our story starts with a boy called Sergei Aleshkov who lived in the Grin region in the USSR when war had broke out when he was only 5 years of age. He was one of 3 brothers and one of his brothers at this time was sent to war as part of the Russian army. At the start of the war, his family would help out the partisan soldiers in the village, but quite a few years later into the war, in 1942, the village was on the front line. German soldiers were rampaging through his village and killing everyone in sight. This included his mother and brother who he saw being killed. Luckily for Sergei, he was pushed out the back door into the woods, where he would spend a couple of days before being found by the 142nd Guard Unit. He was said to have looked starved and ill, so the soldiers had to nurse him back to health, which, luckily for him, only took a couple of days. When the soldiers had gotten back to full health, they realised how much of a morale booster he actually was, and so he soon became the mascot. Due to the fact Sergei was now an orphan, he would have to be sent off to an orphanage, but as he was so beloved by the soldiers, he was adopted by the commander. There was 2 reasons for this. The first is that he reminded all of the soldiers of their children back at home and gave them something to focus on when fighting. The other is that orphanages were known to not be safe places, and that it would be safe for the soldiers as he was guaranteed food. In 1942, the regiment was deployed in Stalingrad, which is known by many as one of the most bloody conflicts. As he was only a child, he would not be put on the front line but would be delivering letters and singing songs to soldiers. So one day he was patrolling around the base of operations when he noticed something in a nearby haystack moving. Sergei didn't actually know what it could be apart from a boot sticking out of one side. He reported his findings to some soldiers who then headed back, and due to his surprise, it was 2 enemy soldiers who were forward fire spotters for artillery. They ended up being disposed of right in front of him. So another story, but this time this is about his adopted father and him. But before we get onto that, I want to give you guys a channel update. We are so close to hitting 250 subscribers, so if you guys would help me get to that, I'd be ever so grateful. But apart from that, I'm aiming to get at least 1 video out a week, depending on work and college. So if you guys want to see a certain video, then make sure to like similar videos and suggest them in the comments. I do read them all. Also, suggest me some games you may want to see. Without me rambling, remember to like and subscribe, but anyway, we'll get on to the actual video. So within the Second World War, there was a whole lot of artillery going off at any one moment, but in this case, it had hit a dugout, which Sergei's father was now in. The dugout was now covered in mud and dirt and was almost impossible to get people out. Sergei had now run over to it and tried his hardest to dig his father out, but this was to no avail. Wondering what he could do now, he sprinted to the closest operating post and let the soldiers know of his father's position. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, this was whilst artillery was going off all around him. A 6-year-old, running around in artillery. Like, come on. Once the soldiers had got to his father's dugout, they were able to free him and the others trapped along with him. For Sergei's bravery in the face of adversity, he was awarded a military merit, which he kept with him for the rest of the war. When on duty a while later, delivering his messages and singing his songs, Sergei heard something in the air. Without a shadow of a doubt, he knew it was a plane. The plane ultimately started firing on him, as they believed he was an officer, as before this he was given a uniform so he could probably be a part of the unit. Sergei set off in a sprint for cover, but unfortunately he was hit in the heel, wounding him. He was able to be carried off to a hospital where he'd recover, but the officers started to be a little more careful when sending him off to tasks. So, as I said before, his unit was deployed in Stalingrad. Well, as some of you may know, there's a huge river flowing on one side. I only say some of you may know, as it is in one film, I'm not gonna lie, the name does escape me. But anyway, him and his unit were on a barge getting carried to the other side when an explosion went off and Sergei went straight into the water. He had never learned how to swim, so he was desperately trying to keep afloat, but in the haze of the fire and debris, the soldiers could not find him. At last, the soldier was seen swimming with him in his arms to land, and Sergei had once again fled there. Through the war, Sergei would follow the unit around all the conflicts until he was visited by a high-up general, where he was ordered to be sent off the front lines and sent to a military training academy. Here, he would spend the remainder of the war. And due to the injuries that he had received throughout the whole time, he was not able to actually become a soldier. And that is the story of a war hero called Sergei Aleshkov. There's actually a film out there called The Boy Soldier. If you guys want to go and watch it, I would recommend it actually. I will also leave links down for where I found most of the information, including the YouTube channel Animated History. Amazing, go and watch it. I recommend it. Yeah, I know this was quite a short one, but not had much time to record a video these days, so I had to get something out for you guys. If you guys have stayed to the end anyway, remember to like and subscribe if you have enjoyed. I appreciate everyone, and comment what you thought of the video, anything I can improve on. If you guys want to see a video next week, then make sure to put it in the comments, but without further ado, I love you all, and I'll see you all soon. Also, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I did well in this game, I'm not going to lie to myself. Anyway, have a good day guys, bye bye.